Hi everyone, Nadine Briggs here from Simply Social Kids. Why do friendships matter? I'm a little fired up today, I'm not going to lie. I want to talk to you about something that's really, really important. There was a report that came out from the US Surgeon General's office regarding an epidemic of loneliness and isolation in our world. This is incredibly concerning, and we're going to go over some of the main points of this report. It's actually about 80 something pages long. I'm going to link it in the description below, but I'm going to give you the main points of this and the reason why it's so important to talk about it. First of all, social connection is just a human need. It's as important as food, water, shelter, all those basic needs. And some people don't really realize that, or if socialization is really hard for them, they might deny that that's a need that they have. But it makes sense to know that the people who have social difficulties, whether it's due to ADHD or on the autism spectrum disorder, or maybe they have nonverbal learning disabilities, anxiety, social anxiety, or just some general social awkwardness, and they lack the skills to be able to really form those meaningful friendships, that isolation and loneliness is going to be way worse among that population. And that's the population that we work with. And that's the point of this video today, is really talking about why friendships matter, why does social connection matter, and how can you get it? So in the report through the US Surgeon General's office, about half of adults have reported some level of loneliness. Half. Like, that's an enormous number. And again, if you take our specific population, I would argue it's probably much, much higher than 50% of people who have those challenges are experiencing routine loneliness. It's important to note too that loneliness is not just a bad feeling, or isolation is not just a bad feeling. It's the equivalent, according to this report, to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. When you think about that, if you have that teenager, you have that young adult, or that elementary school kid who is socializing with people and can't make those connections, the impact that it has on their physical health is equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's crazy to me. Like, that's really a serious, serious issue, which is why this advisory came out from the US Surgeon General's office. It's also backed by the World Health Organization and the United Nations. So this is a global problem and not just an American problem. So when we think about trying to create those social connections, really we need to make sure that we're answering the call. When someone texts us or calls us, that we're responding to them. I had one teenager tell me that it takes her about 10 days to respond to a text message. 10 days? If it takes you 10 days to respond to a text message, the chances of you getting more text messages from that person are going to be significantly decreased. We have to make sure too that we have really good listening skills, and listening means putting the phone down, really focusing on somebody and doing some active listening with that person. So that means listening even if you don't care what they're saying. Maybe they're talking about something you're not particularly interested in. Well, you might talk about things that they're not particularly interested in, and you're going to want that same friend to listen to you. So we want to make sure that we are really engaged in that listening, and that is leaning forward, maybe asking a follow-up question to that person so that you're fully engaged in the conversation. Again, even if you don't care about what they're saying and you're not personally invested in that, we listen because the other person needs us to, not because we find it to be necessarily entertaining. Hopefully, a lot of our conversations are mutually entertaining for both parties involved, but that's not always the case. And that's what we need to do, to be present and be there for our friends. In terms of, if you don't have the skills to be able to connect with people, join a social skills group. We offer social skills groups online worldwide and in person in Tingsboro, Massachusetts. But I will tell you, I am not the only social skills group that there is. Find the one that's right for you. There's a lot of different types of social skills programs. We have a certain way that we teach social skills to children, teens, and young adults in our program, but your child, teen, or young adult, or maybe yourself, might need something completely different. So I'm going to link a video in the description below that describes our program. But if anyone tells you that they are the only program that will work in terms of developing your social skills, I would wonder if they're not maybe a little bit of a snake oil salesman, and maybe you need to really look beyond that person, because there are lots of different ways to address social skills, and you need to find what fits for you and what's right for you and your needs. So just even having awareness, and this advisory from the US Surgeon General is certainly ringing the bell in terms of, we need to pay attention to this. It is a serious, serious issue for both, like I said, the physical health in terms of the whole 15 cigarettes a day thing, but also isolation and loneliness is shown to contribute to anxiety and depression, particularly among adolescents and children. And so that is a huge issue that we need to address just by being social with each other. So when we think about social skills, like I mentioned before, creating that social plan, we need to think about, as parents, kind of looking at that schedule. I talk to parents all the time about how are they going to put this in their schedule because they have so many things going on. They've got sports and after school programs, and they have homework, and there's jobs, and there's long commutes, and there's traffic that they have to deal with if they're coming to the physical center in person. But given this warning from the U.S. Surgeon General's office, I would certainly think that it's a call to action to prioritize social skills and socializing above some of those other things. When I talk to the teachers, I've got several teachers who are in my program as coaches. They will say, talk to your child's teacher about the homework and say, look, if they're going to miss an hour of social skills instruction a week, maybe we need to do something that night in terms of homework, and either postpone the homework or maybe give a little less homework on those nights so that we can make sure we're prioritizing social skills and friendship. So this report, like I said, outlines the physical and the mental health issues that can come from having social isolation and loneliness in your life. But I would say that there's a lot you can do. I mean, this is really promising because there's so many things we can do to help this problem. And especially now that there's been so much awareness around it with this report, I'm really excited about really helping people to understand just how critical social skills and friendship are to people. I had to pause the video for a moment. My dog was barking and need a little social connection herself. So this is Tessa. When you're around people who enjoy your company, I mean, that's a great way to build your self-esteem. Having friends can also give you different perspectives on life. When you have different types of people that you hang out with, you're learning about how they think about different things, and their opinions might be different than yours, and you might not even agree with them, but it's okay. We want to make sure that we are expanding our circles in terms of what our thoughts are about different topics. And not to mention just belly laughs. We just want to have fun with people. We want to be entertained by them. We want to entertain them. How great does it feel when you tell a joke and other people laugh? So I hope you like this video. I hope we've raised the awareness around how important social connection is with this advisory from the U.S. Surgeon General. If you like this video, please hit the like button. I'd love to hear a comment from you if you'd like to leave one in the comments below. Check out all those links we're going to have in the description for this report and some other reports and other information around social connection and its importance. And also hit subscribe so you can hear more from us. And we'll be giving more tips on how you can help create social connection for your child, teen, or young adult. Thanks, Tessa.